News 36 Sports Special. Live from Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's Race Week 92. Highlights of the Champion Sparkplug 300 with News 36 Sports Director Jim Celania and former Winston Cup champion Benny Parsons.
Welcome live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jim Celania along with Benny Parsons in a place where you've been many times, getting in and out of a car, standing on the hood. Well, not on the hood.
I've been here many times interviewing drivers who've won the race. I've won a couple of races. I've been here a couple of times. And nice place to be.
Been an exciting day. You graduated a son and another youngster maybe moved up in the rankings of drivers today. I
tell you what, Jeff Gordon today was so impressive.
He sure was.
And talking to him after the race, folks, you want to listen to this because he was impressive after the race.
Yeah, he's a tiger and a future star without a doubt. And I hope he stays around a long, long time. He's only 20. He'll be here for the next 3 decades. Well, before we get going, before we see the highlights of the Champion 300, let's take a look at the Sportsman race, which was held earlier this morning around 11 a.m. The Duron Paints. It was 67 laps, and these guys went out there trying to prove that they can do it on the Super Speedway, Benny. And look at these guys in turn one. They get into it here a little bit. Glenn Darnell and Darrell Leatherdale. They get out of the way.
Get out of the way. And fortunately, it was a two-car wreck.
This next shot here, they had a nasty-looking accident. Here we see Danny Sykes take a hit from the 81 car of Jerry Rector. This was so reminiscent of David Gaines 2 years ago because he finds himself sitting right out on the middle of the track, and look, the flames died down. That's what Will was talking about earlier. It looked scary for a minute, and he got popped while he was just sitting there. And thank goodness he walked away from that deal. That's the driver walking away.
Man.
That's the best news we had all day long, seeing him leave that thing and get out of it okay. Tim Bender would eventually be the winner. Here we see a young man who had to be very grateful that he got out of that at all. Knipe was scared a little bit there, I believe, Ben.
I'm sure he was, and there comes the winner, Tim Bender, taking the checkered flag.
So Bender wins it. And, of course, when a guy sits in that winner's circle like that after winning a sportsman race, you think visions of sugar plums are dancing in his head like a Grand National ride, maybe?
He says, now, if I could get in that one car, that Baby Ruth Ford, I could do the same thing Jeff Gordon does. You know, Bill Davis, hire me for next year. You're going to lose Jeff Gordon? Hire me as a driver.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And these drivers are all very talkative before the race starts. They don't have much to say during the race other than I'm coming in for gas or tires or whatever. And we always go down on pit road before the race starts, so let's see what they had to say before the 300 today.
I think we're going to have a great day. You know, I think the car's running really well. The guys were working really hard. Out of all the controversy that's been going on, we still got our heads screwed on tight. I'm going to give it 100%, and they're giving it 100%. That's what counts.
Heat going to play a factor for you at all, do you think?
It hasn't in the past. It's awful hot today. I think we'll be all right. You know, maybe things go the way we're supposed to go. We'll come home with a good finish for Staff America.
Is the key here to just get out in front and run away from these guys?
No, the key here is to be here at the end. You know, we're just going to run as comfortable as we can. We're not going to try and kill the car the first half of the race and see what we got for the second half.
What kind of race do you think you're going to have today, considering the heat?
Well, it's always a competitive race. We'll see, but I think it'll be a good race.
How about for you? Do you have anything apart from just trying to make it without getting mixed up with somebody?
I think it'll be okay. We'll see what happens here.
Do you think this is a good race to warm up for tomorrow, or are you looking just strictly at this race today?
Well, right now, just wait and see how things go. I think it'll be probably a good idea what the racetrack will do tomorrow, but still there's a lot of things different on this car versus our Winston Cup car.
How about the heat? Is that a factor for you at all today, do you think?
Nah. Short race.
Do you think this is a good race to
Short race. 300 miles a short race.
There were people out here today saying, I can't believe tomorrow's race is going to be twice this long.
Twice as long.
Yeah, and maybe hotter, they're saying. It was 90 out here today. Track temperature had to be 100. Up there in turn 4 is probably 400.
Man.
Wow, it's going to be a long one. Well, let's take a look and see what happened today in the Champion 300. The race has been over for a couple of hours. The fans have all left, so let's take you down to the track and take a look at the Champion 300. And as they roll off, great things were expected from that one car, the Baby Ruth car, driven by the youngster, 20-year-old Jeff Gordon. And I'm sure he's got a lot of fans out there in the stands.
Well, you know he has. Had a chance to pick up the bonus. A lot of his money he won today was a pole position bonus.
Yeah, that thing has been rolling over. If you win from the pole, but nobody has. I think it was worth $60,000 to win from the pole. So what a payday for this kid. Here's the first incident. Scott Herberg in turn 4 lost it. He's out of Davidson, North Carolina, but he got back out of that car and he's all fine. The car had to go on a hook, but Scott is going to be just fine. The next incident of the day occurred in turn 2. Jack Sprague, Joe Nemechek, Chuck Bound, and they had quite a wreck over there in turn 2.
It's a shame, you know, it was early in the race, riding along. My car spun out, I seen him spinning, I put my hand up to tell the guys behind me, hey, we're slowing down, we got trouble up here. And I got slowed down, but they didn't behind me, they run right over me.
Rick Masluck is still holding to true form, guys. I don't know, those cars lost it, you know, and he got up high, or he spun around and went into the wall, so I went up high, thinking when I got there he would come off. Well, he just stuck against the wall, so I cut back down, and when I did, about 6 cars went by me wide open, and they all wadded up in front of me, and I hit one of them. If everybody would have just slowed down, it would have been no problem.
We just had our way through the crash and had a car come down on us on the right side and put us into another car, and you know there's only so much you can do.
Well, I'm not real sure what happened. If the Staff America Chevrolet was real loose and we were waiting for a chance to tighten it up, and if anybody got remotely near me, it was real bad loose, and I just lost it going into one.
And back out on the track now, a lot of Winston Cup drivers out there, Benny, like your Darrell Waltrips and your Mark Martins. And
Darrell Waltrip had a problem.
To get back out in a race like this.
And of course, being the Winston Cup drivers, they don't have to go back out there for points, do they?
No, that's right. They're not racing for points. There's the Winston Cup driver that really had a good car, Mark Martin. But he started smoking, and his day was over. There, Jeff Gordon goes right by him.
Mark had bad luck, but he says, I'll be back, boys.
I guess we burned a piston or something. It's really hard to say at this point, but one of these days, we're going to win one with that Winn-Dixie car.
And Gordon takes home the candy, 5,000. Earnhardt, a chance to fix his car, maybe.
When we talked to you at the beginning of this, you were pretty confident, and now Darrell Waltrip is saying that basically you're the only one out there worth chasing now.
I hope so. You know, Mark Martin was running really strong, and it looked like it was going to come down between me and him, but now this is a whole new race. You know, we get to come in, everybody gets to adjust their car. I think we can make our car a little bit better, but, you know, the rest of the guys get to catch up too, so it might be a whole new race. Let's see. I hope we're just as good as we were the first half.
Looks to me like the other guys did make their cars a little bit better because they were a little closer to Gordon than they were to begin with.
Trickle and Earnhardt chasing that 20-year-old. You got a 20-year-old, there's a 40-year-old going by him, and the 50-year-old wants by him, huh?
Yep, there he goes. Dick Trickle goes by. But now Earnhardt has a problem up high on the racetrack, has an engine problem.
Yeah, I sort of jumped the gun talking about Dale fixing that car, but as they say right there, it's broke. But it ain't gonna get much better, is it? A short caution would come out. They give a chance to fix it, but it wasn't fixable for Dale today. Not the Intimidator. He wouldn't be back.
Broke a rocker arm or something in the engine, so, you know, it's just one of them deals, but we was running good. I was having a good time.
Here comes Dick Trickle in. Changing right sides.
Only 2 tires today.
Only 2 tires. Making a chassis adjustment, and look at this.
This is something here.
I tell you, 3 deep. No, he backed off just a little bit. That's Todd Bodine on the outside. And there we see Todd Bodine and Kenny Wallace get together, and Wallace hard in the wall. That was the Busch Grand National points leader coming in today, Jim.
Was is the key word there.
Was, that's correct.
Another angle of it, and Wallace's day was in ruins after this in that 36 car.
And I tell you what, look how he comes back right across the racetrack in front of all that traffic, and no one hit him.
Great driving. I mean, that could have been one of those things where 10 cars go out on the hook, but super driving, and they all stayed in the race.
Watch that. Oh, some contact. Watch this.
Is that your brother out there?
That's Phil, and we saw Jeff Gordon get the car sideways, nail the gas, and goes by Phil and Trickle. Now here we see Trickle lose control, get in the side of Jeff Bodine. This is coming down for the white flag, and both those cars was not able to come down for the white flag. That was the 2nd and 3rd place car did not make the white flag.
We slowed that down, and Dick Trickle had 2nd place, maybe wrapped up. It just got out from under him.
Just got out from under him.
His tires got hot, and he just lost it right there, and he hated that. But under the yellow, there he is, the kid.
That's our winner.
Yeah, 20 years old, in winner's circle, reminiscent somewhat of Rob Moroso, who, of course, we lost. A young star, a budding star on this circuit.
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought about Moroso till just now, but you're right. This is so reminiscent of the Rob Moroso days. Just, I mean, because Moroso at this racetrack was so dominant. Remember? All the specials we did with him winning the race this year?
When I saw him down here today talking to you, I thought of Moroso and what he might be doing today. And, of course, this is one guy who might be able to step into those shoes and fill the shoes of a driver that everybody thought was going to be a star for the next 20, 30 years.
There's no doubt about it. He was going to be a star.
He sure will be. And when we come back, after this word from our sponsors, we'll go in and talk to the youngster, the 20-year-old winner of today's Champion 300. That's after this.
Up next on Race Week 92, the winner of the Champion Sparkplug 300.
Race Week 92, brought to you by Valvoline, Saturn, Kanawha, and Miller Beer.
Everybody came over and looked at it. What kind of car is that? What kind of car is that?
A Saturn.
What?
A Saturn.
What is it?
A Saturn. You like it?
The only thing I don't like about the vehicle, I can't really say there isn't anything I don't like. It's a fun vehicle.
I look up, and on my right is a big sign that said Saturn. Well, that very day, I whipped in, found the car I liked, and bought one. That's a fact.
Hunger, thirst, food, beer. New Colders 29, cold aged at 29 degrees to seal in smoothness, beer after beer. Hunger, thirst, food, Colders. New Colders 29 and 29 Light. What else do you need?
Driving a top fuel car is basically the feel of being shot out of a cannon. The acceleration is very great, and the slowdown period is very great. When the parachute comes out in a car, it pulls another 4 Gs, just stopping the opposite direction. Many of the drivers that come out of these cars at the end of the day, when they look at their body at night, they're black and blue from the harness being around them. The level of speed that we operate in, normally around 290 miles an hour, your level of concentration has to be there, so you better have it all together.
It took more than 20 years to dream it. A lifetime of savings to build it. But it took the sweat of 15 loyal employees to make it happen. That's life, and we insure every step of it. Kanawha, life and health insurance.
Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jim Celania, along with Benny Parsons, you had a chance to go talk to the winner.
I tell you what, and it was a great interview. The kid is so sincere, such a nice kid.
Yeah, a lot of enthusiasm. Let's take a look and see what happened when Benny met this young champ.
Big deal, isn't it?
The biggest, the biggest. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just amazing how well things are going for me. You know, after all the controversy, things are still, you know, right on track. And I can't believe the way the momentum's going. I mean, to come here, I mean, when I first came to Charlotte Motor Speedway, it was like, this place was it. I mean, it was the place. And now here I won the pole and won the race. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You won a lot of money today, Jeff, $113,000 or something like that, but it's more than money at 20 years old, isn't it?
It's not about money. I mean, I've been racing, you know, for several years, and you know, you don't even look at the checks. I mean, it's the pride and the accomplishment of going out there, and especially running with the Winston Cup drivers, the Busch Grand National drivers, and just having a great car underneath you and just being able to enjoy it, come across there first. What it's about is seeing that checker flag when you're the first one that comes across. That's what it's all about.
You're going to hate to leave Bill Davis and the crew, I'm sure. Is there anything that you can do to get them a Winston Cup team, or are they pretty well on schedule to get a Winston Cup team going?
Well, I hope there's something I can do. I mean, I've offered, and I think what we got to do is just keep our heads on straight, keep doing what we're doing. I mean, this is what it's about. To come out here, we got a lot of TV coverage today. That's what sponsors are looking for. They've got a great chance at getting a sponsor. We've got to find them a good driver, though, and you know, they don't necessarily need to fill my shoes. They might be better than me. I mean, but we do need to find them a sponsor and a driver, and I'm going to do whatever I can do. I mean, they've done a lot of great things for me. I'm going to try to return the favor.
Jeff, I'm sure a lot of people, when you left the open wheel cars and came to stock car racing, said the guy's stupid. He had a future at the Indianapolis 500. Today, is it all worth it?
Definitely. I mean, ever since the first time I stepped in a stock car, I knew that was what I wanted to do. The car, I adapted to it. I felt good. I felt comfortable. The type of racetracks we run on, the competition, the other drivers, everything that I've done, and the people I've met and been with, everything about this NASCAR and stock car racing, that's what I've been, you know, doing all my life is building for this. I didn't know it until a couple years ago, but I just found out, and this is one thing that proves it.
Here we are, Jeff Gordon, $113,800. Bobby Labonte, look at the drop, $22,000, $790 for $22,800. $800 for Labonte Morgan Shepherd third, Sterling Marlin fourth, and Dale Jarrett back in fifth spot. So, and there's 6 through 10, Ward Burton, Todd Bodine, Dick Trickle. Those 2 cars spun, finished 7th and 8th. Robert Presley was 10th, and Phil Parsons finished 10th.
Yeah, so Phil gets a paycheck. Not bad bucks there for those guys. Of course, Gordon got the big chunk of it. Let's talk to some of the other guys who also took home some money from the Speedway.
Got to be disappointed. I mean, you had some money made. Boy, the last lap, a lap and a half to go.
Well, yeah, you know, that's part of it. That helps. I wanted to finish second. Couldn't win. Jeff checked out on us, run real good. I wanted second, and we were pretty even. I thought I was just a little better through 1 and 2, and, you know, took the shot at it and came up a little short.
Have you talked to Trickle?
No, I haven't seen Dick. I'm sure he's fine with it. He knows what happened. You know, I know what happened. You know, it's just one of them racing things that happens. You got to accept it and go on. You can't make enemies out of stupid things like that.
You saw everything breaking loose out in front of you as you were coming down for that last lap. What do you think?
Well, it was a little bit too far in front of me to see, but I noticed a lot of smoke, and they just said, hey, just kind of stay low and get it, and I did. So, hey, we finished second. It's better than fourth.
Is there any way that anybody could have caught Gordon today? God, he looked fast.
Well, Mark was fast, you know, and something happened to him. But, yeah, they ran good. They did a good job.
Okay, we'll be back with more live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway after this word from our sponsors.
Stick around. There's more ahead on Race Week 92.
Hello. That car that you're in is your home for 8 hours a day. You figure you want something that's going to kick your kidneys around, and you want that vehicle to ride smoothly. You want that vehicle to perform when you call upon it to perform. We feel that when you have an officer who is comfortable, he will perform better.
We've got a bit of an edge with the driver we have. We've got the best driver out there. So it's a matter of the mechanics just not overlooking anything. Al and I stay in constant communication during the race. I have to be aware of what he wants or needs, you know, at all times. I think the small details are is what makes the difference between winning and running second.
Hi, I'm Eloise Nelson at Jim Nelson Nissan. Why pay 19.8% interest on credit cards? At Jim Nelson Nissan, you can buy a brand new car or truck for only 8.9% interest, and we'll pay off your credit cards up to $4,000. That's right, $4,000, only at Jim Nelson Nissan. Call us first, 1-800-25-24-24-4, or come by Jim Nelson Nissan, Rock Hill.
If the chicken you've been served lately doesn't taste a lot like chicken, it may have something to do with your restaurant's taste in chickens. Instead, try the taste of Bojangles. Get a 10-piece value box. 10 pieces of Cajun-spiced or skin-free Southern Light. The perfect value for picnics, parties, or gatherings. All for just $5.98. The 10-piece value box. A real deal on real chicken.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The sun is still above the grandstands. We're looking for a hot one tomorrow and a long one, huh?
Oh, man, I went to my son's graduation, as you mentioned earlier today, so I didn't get to run up and down pit road in 90-degree weather today. I got to do it tomorrow.
We're going to wear you out tomorrow.
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Hey, they had some cute little cars out here today racing in the old Legends racetrack there.
Quarter mile, yeah.
Yeah, it's, let's take a look at it. They're called dwarf cars or Legend cars, and they're building these little babies right now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is out there racing.
Really?
Well, Farmer's relative is out there, and Red Farmer's relatives, and they just had a good time spinning these little babies around.
They're reminiscent of the old coupes, the 3940 coupes. And I think Donnie Allison's sons are building some of these cars, I believe, up in Salisbury.
I noticed they weren't real anxious to wreck each other, so they're paying for them.
They're paying for these cars, that's exactly right.
You know, the biggest thing around here every year for the 600 is trying to draw out a Humpy Wheeler and Eddie Gossage and the guys up in the front office about what the pre-race show is going to be. And they always tell you, well, you know what they tell you. We'll find out here as Will Hampton has more on Humpy's big show.
The Winston, under the lights, set the table for 2 weeks of surprises at Charlotte Motor Speedway, otherwise known as Humpy World for some of the drivers. Like Wally World in the movie Vacation, a place you want to see but never know quite what to expect. Like boxing between a preacher and a retired NFL lineman.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. My kids got to see me do something that they could tell the grandchildren about.
Humpy Wheeler is the mastermind behind the pre-race shows. The pole day boxing, just a tease of what's to come.
I don't know if they had a lot of fun up there, but the crowd did.
Now you want those two back next year?
Who knows?
And Sunday, can we expect a bit more of this?
The clue is it's something we've done before, but didn't do it right. If I tell you, I gotta kill you.
Will Hampton, Race Week 92.
All right, so we have no idea. I think it might possibly involve Richard Petty. I don't know.
What'd he say if I tell you I got to kill you?
He tells you. He said, I said, Humpy, what's your show? He said, I'll tell you, but I got to kill you. Be a press box full of dead reporters if he told us, I guess. We'll be right back with more live from the Speedway as they're cranking up the tunes right after this.
Race Week 92 will continue.
We're going to go back to our second childhood because it's a little hot rod in this car because it does get up and go. I know because I can get up and go in it.
We'll end up winning the race.
Race Week 92, brought to you by Valvoline, Saturn, Kanawha, and Miller Beer.
Welcome back, everybody, live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jim Celania and Benny Parsons and the entire 36 race team. We put a long day in covering this baby, so we expect a prediction out of you now.
Oh, no.
Let's earn your bucks. Who's going to win this thing tomorrow?
Can I do a GM and a Ford?
You mean like one of the other? If a Ford wins it, it'll be?
Alan Kowicki.
Alan Kowicki?
Yeah.
Not a bad call. He's been real strong this year. The longer he runs, the faster he gets, too. Yeah. And there'll be a lot of that tomorrow.
And the top GM car will be Harry Gant.
Harry Gant. Back on track. Harry Gant, GM. Okay, top Chevy while we're at it.
Top Chevy?
Oh, you didn't do your homework on the Chevy?
No, I didn't do my homework on the Chevy.
How about Earnhardt?
He's pretty good. Yeah. I talked to the crew. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Irvin, yeah. Darrell Waltrip up here could win this thing tomorrow, too.
He always runs well in long races.
He really could. It's been great having you with us tonight. We hope you'll join us for our specials tomorrow. Let's take a look and see what time they come on. And we'll be live again from the Charlotte Motor Speedway at 7 o'clock on Sunday. So please be with us for a big day of racing. Thanks for being with us for the entire 36 race team. I hope the rest of your weekend is a winner. Good night.
A night for Excedrin PM.